Hello, everybody, and welcome to safegeriatrics. Today, we are going to talk about something called vasoconstriction, and I'm just going to give a simple definition of vasoconstriction. This is the narrowing of the blood vessel due to the contraction of smooth muscles in the vessel wall. When the blood vessels narrow, the systemic vascular resistance increases. This is like the blood vessel. Let's say the blood vessel is supposed to be this big. I don't mean it's this big, but it's supposed to be this big. But then vasoconstriction is when it becomes smaller than it should be. It's smaller than it should be. That's his body's normal way to respond to when you're feeling cold. The body's normal way to respond when you're afraid. The body's normal way to respond when you have an injury. Let me take for an example. If something happens and then you're scared, I don't know if you ever hear somebody say, I was shut down. That is like your body is trying to conserve the blood flow and then make you act fast so that you can move. And another example is when you get cut. You find out that after like some seconds, the bleeding stops. That is because the blood vessels around that area are constricted so that more blood will not be pumped to that area and therefore making you lose a lot of blood. So when the vessels are constricted like that, it makes the body work over time to act. Your blood pressure increases, your pulse increases. That is why some older people, because everything in the older person is slowing down, so when their blood vessels constrict like that, it might not open up immediately as it would in a younger person or maybe somebody who is active. So when the blood vessel constrict, it takes a while to open up. So because it takes a while to open up, the blood is pumping and is facing resistance. The blood is constantly pumping and is facing resistance, and because it's facing a lot of resistance, their blood pressure keeps rising. That is, the blood pressure keeps rising and the pulse keeps rising. So some of the causes are because as somebody is getting older, as I said, the arterial walls become stiff. There is loss of elasticity. Instead of the blood pumping boom and closing, boom and closing, it takes a while. It can do like that. So because of that, the blood pressure is rising, and then increased collagen. There is a lot of collagen in the blood, and then the vessels are no longer flexible. And because of these things that are happening, you find that some elder people, they feel dizzy. Their systolic blood pressure is always high. Systolic, I mean their working phase, because there is systolic and there is diastolic. The systolic is when the blood is actively pumping, and then diastolic is when the heart is supposed to be at rest. That systolic, when the blood is pumping like that, is usually high because when it pumps, it faces resistance and then it doesn't go back as it should be. It doesn't go back to normal immediately. And then there is increase in fall risk because they are confused. Enough blood is not going to the brain. They are confused, so they might feel they have an increased risk to fall. If you remember the last video, we talked about safety of the elderly. Make sure that you keep them safe, their environment are clear so they don't bump into things and hurt themselves. And then there are cognitive changes, just like I said, confusion, and then cold extremities. If you ever see an older person, they say, I feel cold. Even when you know that you're burning up, you're very hot, but they are cold. Why? Because that blood is not flowing as it should. Their hands, their palms are cold, and their feet are cold. So just like I said, there are medications that can affect this. Some of those medications, epinephrine, some NSAIDs like ibuprofen, and then the congestant, like people who take inhaler. When you take the inhaler, it makes, so watch out if you have another person who is taking inhaler. Just make sure that they don't overuse it, or when they do use it, just keep a close eye on them so they don't have severe vasoconstriction and then they might fall or maybe get into some kind of injury. For more videos like this, you can like, share, and comment, and we'll answer your questions. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section and we're going to answer your questions. Thank you.